मुझे किसी ने पूछा मेरे लिए LoP का क्या मतलब है। LoP आपकी आवाज है, आपका औजार है। जो भी आपके दिल में भावना है, आपकी समस्याएं हैं, LoP के माध्यम से मैं लोकसभा में आपके लिए उठाऊं।
यह अभय मुद्रा है। इसमें कॉन्फिडेंस, स्ट्रेंथ, निडरता कहां से आती है? हुनर से आती है। तपस्या का मतलब शरीर में गर्मी पैदा करना, समझिए। हाँ, तब का यह मतलब है, तपस्या का यह मतलब है।
There is a completely flawed concept of merit.
ये देखिए, एक है तो सेफ है।
We are now fighting the BJP, the RSS and the Indian state itself.
सर माइक तो दे दीजिए।
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Viewers, the time has come for Rahul Gandhi's first appraisal because he has completed 1 year as the leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha. So how did he fare? The answer depends on who you ask. Scroll through Congress handles and you would come out believing he has topped the performance chart. Memes, reels, post-flood timelines celebrating their Jannayak, their man on a mission, their shadow Prime Minister. They highlight his visits to 16 states in the last 12 months, his 60+ rallies, his 115 public interaction, his 18 press conferences, and in 16 hard-hitting speeches in the House cornering the government. His fans are already calling him the future Prime Minister.
Rahul Gandhi has forced the government to take more U-turns in this 1 year. Caste census was something which this government was opposed to all these years. Now here is this government taking a U-turn thanks to Rahul Gandhi. Women reservation thanks to the Congress party and the pressure Mr. Gandhi and Mr. Kharge put. Mrs. Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi put.
While the Congress gives their leader a glowing 5-star rating, BJP's report card, and expectedly so, comes stamped with one word: failed, in bold. They ask, how many elections has he won? How often has he managed to keep India Bloc united? And forget about leading the opposition in the parliament. Has he even managed to lead his own party? Listen in.
Unfortunately, the 1 year period of Rahul Gandhi's leader of opposition is of failure. It's not of success. He has been fortunate to be born in a family which has produced 3 prime ministers. His performance is extremely dismal.
Rahul Gandhi's 1 year has been less than Dumdaar and more of Chunavi Haar. Rahul Gandhi's 1 year has been less of Sarkar se Sahi Sawal and more of Siyasi Bawal.
Whom they claim as a Dumdaar has been losing election after election, whether it was Haryana, Maharashtra. So, and then now coming to next election, Bihar, they'll be losing that election also. So, we all know who's Dumdaar, who's losing election after election.
Now, BJP's evaluation is brutal and predictable. But what about those who Rahul Gandhi leads on the floor of the House? Over the last 1 year, we saw how the India Bloc constituents parted ways on many issues close to Rahul Gandhi's heart. Protests against Adani? Well, no consensus. Demands for a JPC? No consensus. Special session after Pahalgam? Got nowhere. On the question of who will lead the India alliance, we saw more drift than direction. So what do these parties say now? The response varies from caution to thinly veiled skepticism. But there is no unconditional fawning.
हम उम्मीद करते हैं कि बतौर LoP आदरणीय राहुल जी पूरे विपक्ष को सबको साथ में लेकर चलने का काम करेंगे और जो देश की आवाज है उसके लिए वो हमेशा मुखर होते रहेंगे.
You can't come up to a conclusion in 1 year of profile. You can't come up to a conclusion in 1 year of profile.
You must go and ask Mr. Rahul Gandhi what he has been doing, what is happening in his party, what is happening between his party and other parties in UPA. You should go and ask him because there is no formal UPA meeting. after the Lok Sabha elections.
Oh my God. You heard opinions. But what does data suggest? Let's break it down. On the floor of the House, Rahul Gandhi has often been criticized for either being missing in action, like choosing to not speak on Waqf Amendment Bill, or instigating disruption. Outside, on issues like backing the centre's all-party delegations after Operation Sindoor outreach, like an ideal leader of stature, he failed to. As a prominent voice and face of the India alliance, he failed to forge alliances with the Aam Aadmi Party and the Samajwadi Party. And CPI even today accuses him of not holding a formal opposition meeting since 2024 Lok Sabha polls. Forget about bigger alliances. Rahul Gandhi has also let down even his own party. In the 5 state elections last year, Rahul Gandhi has lost 77% seats contested in Jammu and Kashmir and Jharkhand. So poor was its strike rate that it became a liability on its alliance partners, National Conference and the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha. And then he starts pinning blame on Election Commission and the EVMs, that too without proof. Even now, Election Commission was left high and dry, as after hurling allegations of poll rigging, he never turned up to meet the poll officials when an invitation was extended to him. And how serious does Rahul Gandhi take his own words, his own promises, is visible in the caste survey sham that has been conducted in Karnataka, where BBMP workers, instead of speaking to real people, are seen pasting posters on the walls. Khatakhat survey, zero commitment to outcome. Nobody has been spoken to, but they all have stickers on their doors. Caste survey conducted. People inside living there have not been asked questions. Is this the caste survey that Rahul Gandhi has been promising at a national level? So, ladies and gentlemen, the Motorola legitimate question we are asking on the NewsHour tonight. Rahul Gandhi's 1 year as LoP, Dumdaar or Haar Pe Haar? Where do you stand? That's the question and that's the debate coming up on the other side.
You're watching the NewsHour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Joining the debate tonight, Shehzad Poonawala, National Spokesperson of the BJP, Abhijit Iyer Mitra, Senior Fellow at the IPCS, Suhail Seth, columnist. Also joining me this evening, Sanjay Jha, author, Congress leader, Ghanshyam Tiwari, National Spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party, Vivek Srivastava, political analyst, Ravi Shankar Ravi, National Spokesperson of the RJD, also joining the show. My first question, of course, goes to Dr. Sanjay Jha. And Dr. Sanjay Jha, Rahul Gandhi, success all the way, despite all the poll losses and the sample caste survey that we're looking at in Karnataka?
Navika, good evening to you and to all the panelists on the program. I just want to set up the context in brief very quickly. What we have witnessed over the last 10 years and now 11 years has been the absence of a level playing field in India's politics. It's not just about the authoritarianism or the whole environment or the climate of fear that has been created, but the opposition has been targeted mercilessly and ruthlessly by a very politically vindictive government. It's on the record how various investigating agencies have harassed, intimidated, threatened the opposition. Clearly, absolutely farcical. Now, you have to look at Rahul Gandhi's performance in that light. And I can tell you, I heard Pawan's opening statements on your introductory clip, but I think in the core issue where he has been an extraordinary success, it happened even during the Bharat Jodo Yatra, that he's talked about the dispossessed, the poor, the people from the backward caste, the minorities, women, children, people who really need state support. And I think the battle that he's done, which I think probably is being appreciated, it may not be seen in every election that the Congress party has done since then, but at least you saw in the Lok Sabha of 2024 a perceptible impact that had across the country. Now, I feel even on the Election Commission issue, you mentioned it, Navika, in the beginning, I can tell you that matter is far from settled. I have been following very closely the way the Election Commission is redoing the Bihar electoral polls, and I sometimes worry whether Mr. Modi has got very inspired by the Vladimir Putin's model of ensuring that democracy will continue to remain hugely fragile and electoral contests will become really lopsided because of the sheer nature of the way the state will intervene. And I do feel that when it comes to the crux of the matter, I think Rahul Gandhi standing up for saying that, listen, don't weaponize hate and demonize minorities, is, I think, one of the crucial, conscience questions for all of us on the panel. That when we talk of being, Indians, citizens and everything else, can we ignore those who are actually at the receiving end of a government that is very blatantly following the policy of being anti-secular and very proud of it? You have an RSS that says remove secular, remove socialism. Let's say hello to crony capitalism.
The Congress party that actually allies with the SDPI is more secular than the others. Well, Shehzad Poonawala, please respond.
First of all, I want to say that Rahul के एक साल सेना पर सवाल, सिंदूर पर सियासी चाल, ECI पर बवाल, सनातन का अपमान, चुनाव में हार पे हार, जब भी हो संकट राहुल गए विदेश यार, फिर भी लगे संजय झा को राहुल बहुत दमदार. Let me read out the extraordinary performance of Rahul Gandhi. मैं रिपोर्ट कार्ड लेकर आया. टूर एंड ट्रैवल A+, सनातन अपमान A+, doubting institutions A++, propaganda and fakery A+++, break India agenda A+++, and winning confidence of people F-. अच्छा, संजय झा प्यूटन मॉडल का तो पता नहीं, बट सेलेंस्की मॉडल ऑफ स्टैंड अप कॉमेडी अभी भी राहुल गांधी करते हैं. उनके स्टेटमेंट तो अभी भी कम नहीं हुए. बट लुक हु इज टॉकिंग अबाउट बैकवर्ड एंड डिस्पोजेस्ड. इन कर्नाटका यू लिटरली डिड अ फेक सर्वे. इट्स अ स्टोरी ऑफ टुडे. You have given Garibi Hatao Nara and 25 crore people were taken out of Garibi today, not by the family of Congress party. Anyways, let me come to the more detailed report card of Rahul Gandhi. Rahul's 1 year has seen more of frequent traveler miles and less of parliamentary files. He has completed 300 foreign trips in this year. So average of 30 foreign trips per year. Then he has lost the confidence not just of people but also of the parties like Samajwadi Party. He lost 2024 election, lost Haryana, Maharashtra, Andhra, Odisha, Sikkim, Arunachal. Sikkim, by the way, they want to give off to Pakistan or to China or some other place. And they also lost the confidence of TMC, SP, RJD, AAP and left to say that Rahul se nahi ho payega. Then they doubted not just Sindoor and Army and Sena, but they doubted institutions like ECI, and who fact-checked them? Shashi Tharoor and today Imran Masood. Then we saw he converted LoP.
My God, is this a report card or is this an encyclopedia that you have built on Rahul Gandhi?
अभी संजय झा जी ने जो बोला है, अथॉरिटेरियनिज्म. मैम, संजय झा के साथ एक ही इंस्टेंस हो अथॉरिटेरियनिज्म का कि एक आर्टिकल TOI में लिखा था तो अगले दिन सस्पेंड. And guess who suspended him? Not Mr. Modi. But his entire imagination is suspended. Therefore, I have to go into the detail. Now, just 10 seconds more. LoP ka matlab leader of propaganda, Rahul Gandhi has made it. And this time, the lies have not been just domestic lies. It has been international lies. G7 में नहीं बुलाया. अमेरिका का प्रेस रिलीज फेकरी के नाम पे कर दिया. And they have said Saudi work visa was also cancelled. So they have gone into international lies. Finally, they have stuck to their break India tukde tukde agenda. Rahul said we are fighting the Indian state. India is not a nation. Ajay Kumar says Sikkim is not a part of India. They show POK as Pakistan's. And they have continued with their Sanatan slander that Ramji is mythological, just like his mother said. Ramji does not exist. And this is the true face of Rahul Gandhi. Sena, Sanatan और सबका अपमान, यही राहुल गांधी की पहचान.
Well, Ghanshyam Tiwari, Caste survey has been the biggest USP that was picked up by the Congress party and the India Alliance. Even the Samajwadi Party has been talking about the caste survey as the PDA ka hak. I want to ask you, the demo that you've seen in Karnataka, does that instill you with any confidence that Congress can actually do it in the states that they have governments in? If they can't do it there, then why should the nation trust them elsewhere? Because in Karnataka, it's a sham. Everybody's doors has a sticker and the caste survey is done like that. in a shorter time period than a missile from here to Islamabad? How does that happen? And is that not a fake promise, that has been demonstrated in the last 1 year?
Good evening, Navika, to you, the fellow co-panelists and the viewers. There, in your starting statement, you looked at leader of opposition, shadow prime minister. So you have to look at it from the mirror of prime minister versus leader of opposition. Did the leader of opposition attend more parliamentary sessions than the prime minister? Yes, he failed. He could not convince Mr. Modi to go to Manipur. He could not convince Mr. Modi to come out clean on what did Donald Trump whisper in his ear with respect to trade, with respect to Adani or anything else, that the power of the nation which wanted Pakistan decimated in Operation Sindoor was paused by the Prime Minister. He could not convince the Prime Minister that the United States is serious about its prosecution of Adani, and yet Adani remains more important to BJP than the Prime Minister himself. He could not convince the Prime Minister that Mr. Fadnavis is yet to prove the 21,000 ghosts who were added to his constituency, and between him and the Election Commission, nobody knows where these ghosts come from that News Laundry reported, and there are several more ghosts that are there. He could not prove that Election Commission or even SEBI has become organizations fractured by the terror and beimani of Bharatiya Janata Party. He could not prove BJP to come clean on the 13,000 crore. As far as caste census is concerned, 30,000 crore is the amount that BJP has raised in the last 10 years to poor people that it supports, who brand themselves as crony capitalists. Now, coming to your position on Karnataka, I think maybe the caste census should be given to Election Commission, because it is a master of working with BJP to find out ghosts who can join a constituency of the Chief Minister in 5 months between Lok Sabha election and the state elections. Today, whatever Congress party is doing in Karnataka is not the testimony of the leader of opposition or how the parliament functions. You look at the presence or absence of the Prime Minister on important issues. When the NEET exam paper was leaked, where was the Prime Minister, the champion of exam warriors? Did he say any one word in favor of students? Who raised the voices in that time? So from NEET exam paper leak all the way to protection of Mr. Adani as the US wants to prosecute, or to whisper of Donald Trump on Operation Sindoor, to the absence of Prime Minister in Manipur, there's a long list between the two, the Prime Minister and leader of opposition, and your viewers can decide who stands in favor of democracy and who stands to bolster crony capitalism and weaken democracy.
Well, the Adani matter has been to several courts, but I don't know what it will take to convince the opposition. But you mentioned about the Election Commission. Election Commission is the same Election Commission that gave 37 seats to the Samajwadi Party. You still have a problem with it? So Election Commission that gives you 37 seats in Uttar Pradesh is not fair? That it brings down the BJP from 65 odd to the 30s? Sohail said, I want to ask you, are these issues that are raised before every election? Because now they are contesting the Election Commission because it's revising its electoral rolls for Bihar. In 2003, it happened. 31 days, the electoral rolls were revised. This time, it is being done in the same 31 or maybe 30 days. They have a problem. They call it vote bandi. They call caste census by the Congress party as something that should evoke confidence in poor people. Really?
Look, Navika, I think Rahul Gandhi has made many fundamental errors and has done well as well. You know, I wrote about his Bharat Jodo Yatra. One of the enduring fundamental errors is not getting Sanjay Jha back into the party. I'll tell you why, and I'm being serious. Yes. Sanjay comes out every evening defending the Congress. That tells you, and Sanjay will never say it, he's decent. Yeah. That tells you about the ingratitude that this family has and the sense of entitlement that they have towards people. And I promise you, I'm not being sarcastic. I'm saying this genuinely. Yeah. Number one. Number two, I totally agree with whatever everyone has said. The moti baat is Narendra Modi, when I last checked, didn't come through the back door. He wasn't nominated. He didn't sneak into parliament, take the shapath. He was elected by the people of India. By the way, the same people of India also elected many Congress governments, which, by the way, the Congress governments in those states were fine with the election commission. Let's be logical. Imagine the election commission is in cahoots with the government, and Rahul Gandhi wants to actually create a revolution. He should say that we do not believe in the election commission of India. Any elections that are held under its auspices will never be partaken of by the Congress party. That is called taking a stand. There's no such thing as partially pregnant. You can't be fined when your government is in Karnataka and then say, Havi, election commission has called the elections right. But in Delhi, you abuse. And this is natural. So I'm not even going away from the issue that Sanjay and Ghanshyam mentioned. Now let me come to the third point. Let's be honest. Rahul Gandhi, his intentions may be noble. I will never say, and many people on television keep saying, oh, anti-national, this, that. Never. I will never doubt his integrity. I will never doubt his intentions. I will certainly doubt his intellect. Rahul Gandhi has proven himself to be an enduring failure as the leader of the party. I'm not for a moment saying what he says in Parliament is right or wrong. That's not my place to say it. But how do you inspire leadership? You inspire leadership through two ways. One is when you're inspiring, and two is when you're winning. Yeah. You know, you don't normally get inspired by a person who loses every election or loses some of them. Also, Sanjay and Ghanshyam, when Shashi Tharoor put his hat in the ring for Congress presidentship, everyone, the youth of India, was supporting the Gandhi family, saying, great choice. What did you do? You moved him out almost like a pawn on a chessboard, and you planted Mr. Kharge. I'm not for a moment being ageist, but the point is that Mr. Kharge does not bring the youthfulness that is required for that job. And we all know, all the people on this panel also know, that, as I used to say famously, Manmohan Singh was in office, but Sonia Gandhi was in power. Today, Mr. Kharge is in office, but the Gandhis are in power. You saw, Sanjay, and I think we had a debate also on this issue, about the whole Wayanad. It was almost as if, the family decides, okay, I'll move Priyanka Gandhi right from the north of India to Wayanad, which, by the way, is their choice. So I will sum up by just saying three things. Number one, Mr. Gandhi now needs to show inspired leadership by winning elections. B, if Mr. Gandhi is unhappy both about the election commission and, as Sanjay mentioned, about the freedoms or the liberties that should be extended to us as people of India, he should either take the government to court, the election commission to court. He has great lawyers. He has Singhvi, he has Chidambaram. Number three, do not disrespect the mandate of the people, because then you come across like a whining crybaby. I've often said what he says abroad, what he doesn't say abroad, is entirely his concern. I would not say it if I went abroad, but that's entirely his concern. I will never doubt his integrity. I will never doubt his intent, but I certainly will doubt his implementation. And there I rest my case.
Let me ask Ravi Shankar Ravi of the RJD. Ravi Shankar Ravi, what is this vote bandi? Why is the election commission on fire either before elections or after elections? Choose. The same thing was done in 2003. You didn't have a problem. The caste survey in Telangana hasn't seen the light of day. The caste survey in Karnataka, you're seeing how it is being conducted. I want to ask you, everybody wants to look at a lot of leaders in India so that we are spoiled for choice. That's what the Janta feels. कम से कम 10 ऐसे लीडर हों जो प्रधानमंत्री, भावी प्रधानमंत्री बन सकें. ये अच्छी बात है देश के लिए कि इतने नेता हों. लेकिन नेता जो प्रॉमिस करते हैं, they have to deliver. Just like if they promise their own leadership, their own alliance, that they will win elections, then elections must be won. You win a few, but then in those you don't blame the election commission, but the minute you begin to lose, you begin to blame the election commission. Case in point, Maharashtra. I want to ask you, has Rahul Gandhi actually appealed to the alliance partners with inspirational leadership?
See, Navika ji, in a democracy, winning and losing election is not the only thing. The kind of issues that you come up with is also important. Rahul Gandhi has definitely brought up the issues relating to the Dalits, the backward castes, the representation at the higher echelons in the administration, and of course the issues that are hampering our country due to crony capitalism. So, I mean, he has been very important in raising these issues, and he should be evaluated positively on this. Now, the second thing that you asked about the election commission. See, why people are, and the parties in the opposition are bringing election commission into the realm of suspicion. See, in 2024, the Lok Sabha election took place. The electoral list, the voters list of 2024, why can't that be taken into consideration for the revision? See, I also want to point it out here that it is not revision, it is renewing. It is renewing the electoral list where the documents that are being sought is some of the important documents, the most important documents, which the maximum number of people, the maximum percentage of people are having is not being taken into account, which is Aadhaar card. When Aadhaar card was being issued, see, the photograph, the eye impression, the fingerprints, all were taken. But suddenly, Aadhaar card is not relevant. And the documents which are being sought, it is a bleak chance that more and more number of people will be having that.
No, but
so it seems, just 1 second, it seems that it is an attempt, the election commission is playing in the hands of BJP in connivance with BJP to disenfranchise a lot of people belonging to Dalit, backward caste minorities, the poor and
but Aadhaar is not irrelevant, sir. Where is Aadhaar irrelevant? They have said up until 2003, if you have been in the voter list, you have to show only a birth certificate. Otherwise, you have to show other certificates. Shehzad Poonawala, where is this fear coming from?
Ravi ji, I have heard you out. Ravi ji, मैंने आपकी बात सुनी. Ravi ji, मैंने आपकी बात
2024, why 2003?
मैंने उनकी बात सुनी. देखिए, ये मामला इसी गलत डायग्नोज हो रहा है. ECI का नहीं है ये मामला EMI का है. इमरजेंसी माइंडसेट ऑफ इंदिरा क्या था? मेरा परिवार, इंदिरा अबव इंडिया. अभी इनको भी यही लगता है कि बेटा साहब अब बाबा साहब. दलितों की किस मुंह से बात कर रहे हैं आप? अंबेडकर जी की तस्वीर को पैरों तले रख दिया. हाँ, समाजवाद की किस मुंह से बात कर रहे हैं? परिवारवाद छाया हुआ पार्टी में. रवि जी, मैंने आपके बीच में नहीं बोला. Ravi ji, I have not interrupted you. There are two ways of doing the debate. Let me complete and then you speak. This is the democratic way. This is no, Ravi ji, you are interrupting me. I have not interrupted you. जंगल राज नहीं है यहाँ पे. सुन लीजिए. दूसरी बात, ECI पर हम हाँ नहीं आप जंगल राज से क्यों इतना भय खा रहे हैं? आप तो करवाने वाले हैं. सुनिए, अब सुनिए ना सर.
Okay, all right. Allow him to finish. I'll give you time to counter. Finish your point.
हाँ, देखिए ऐसा है, ECI पे हमको कन्विंस करना छोड़ दीजिए. एक ओमर अब्दुल्ला साहब है आपके अलायंस पार्टनर, उनसे जरा पूछे क्या बोलते हैं. बोलते जब जीतते हैं तब ECI वाह 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 वाह, और जब हार जाते हैं तो ECI खराब खराब. और आज इमरान मसूद का बयान है. अच्छा छोड़ देते. घनश्याम जी के 10 सेकंड पे बातों में, घनश्याम जी ने बोला मोदी को कन्विंस राहुल जी नहीं कर पाए, मोदी जी को कन्विंस राहुल जी नहीं कर पाए. अरे राहुल जी RGY राम गोपाल यादव को कन्विंस कर पाए. राम गोपाल यादव कोट, राहुल गांधी इंडिया गठबंधन के नेता नहीं है, चुनावों में कांग्रेस के प्रदर्शन से जताई नाराजगी. अरे इनको तो कन्विंस करा दो पहले, मोदी जी और जनता को बाद में कन्विंस कराना. दूसरी बात, घनश्याम तिवारी जी की पार्टी के लिए आज बीजेपी टेररिस्ट है, कावड़ यात्री पहलगाम के आतंकी है, और इनके लिए वोटर घोस्ट है, इसलिए इनको भी घोस्ट करने वाली है जनता. और तीसरी बात, मैं घनश्याम जी को देखता हूं, व्हेन आई लुक एट घनश्याम, आई फील कॉन्फिडेंस हो तो ऐसा. Mulayam Singh Yadav, when he came to power, he revoked the anti-copying law, which was passed by Rajnath Singh government. He is talking about cheating and about fair examination practices. The party which got rid of anti-copying law had 45 paper leaks during their 5-year tenure. Even their UP, the examination chief was sacked by the High Court, is coming and giving lecture, and in Rajasthan, 18 papers got leaked. During the Gehlot Sachin Pilot government, where Sachin Pilot was on the street, not one day Mr. Ghanshyam Tiwari spoke. क्यों बोलेंगे भाई? क्योंकि हिपोक्रेसी की दुकान. प्लीज टेल मी व्हाई राम गोपाल यादव इज नॉट कन्विंस्ड बाय राहुल. सर आप इतना ही जवाब दे दो.
घनश्याम जी,
देखिए इनकी बात में उतनी ही दम है जितनी प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी जी की डिग्री में दम है. ये कॉपिंग की बात करते हैं. The party who was cahoots when 24 lakh students suffered for months when they leaked the NEET exam. Most importantly,
उसमें तेजू का नाम था. तेजू
I did not interrupt you, Shehzad.
TA was involved.
No, Shehzad, follow the same principle that you want for yourself. Okay. Yes, Ghanshyam.
बोलिए.
The party that calls Chief Justice of India as a person who wants civil wars, shame on them. And the Prime Minister stands silent. The party in whose ears Donald Trump whispers trade and they shun Operation Sindoor and cannot explain to the Parliament, run away from the Parliament. They want somebody else to analyze. My final point is, India has 100 crore voters. The Election Commission simply needs to prove that the 29,000 new voters in Mr. Fadnavis constituency are not ghosts, they are real people. That is 0.0002% of the voters. Who will not gain credibility? Just prove this 29,000 out of 100 crores and Election Commission.
But they've done it so many times. How many times is enough for you? And that is the question that we actually come to. And people watching the show are asking this question. Vivek Srivastav, Sushil Bhan asks, rather than LoP, Rahul Gandhi has been successful as star campaigner for the BJP. Yogendra Sapru says, to be successful as LoP, Rahul Gandhi must first understand what is the LoP's role. BK Shorkar from Bengal says, while being on post of LoP, Rahul Gandhi only opposes India on all forums. Now, these are people of India asking this question. Please respond to them.
Right. See, all I feel is that the debate was supposed to be on the report card of Rahul Gandhi as LoP. यहाँ डिस्कशन हो रहा है कौन कितने इलेक्शन जीता, खड़गे साहब में और राहुल साहब में क्या रिश्ता चल रहा है, किसके पास पावर है, किसके पास ऑफिस है. I mean, let's talk on what he has done. And the biggest achievement this year is there are two big achievements. Number one, caste survey. I mean, the government had to retreat. ये बीजेपी वाले खूब ढोल पीट रहे थे, हम नहीं कराएंगे, हिंदू समाज बढ़ जाएगा. They had to retreat. That's a very big achievement. And it's a very big benefit for the nation. And number two, वो जो दो शब्दों में बोल दिया और देश हिला और प्राइम मिनिस्टर को सोचना पड़ा नरेंद्र सरेंडर. And शहजाद पूनावाला, you should also surrender. आपने you are commenting on the foreign visits of Rahul Gandhi. वो सरकार के पैसे से नहीं है. यहाँ जो 168 प्लस विजिट्स हमारे प्राइम मिनिस्टर कर चुके हैं. इनका क्या एजेंडा है? जाओ, गले लगो, फोटो खिंचवाओ, मिठाई खाओ, वापस चले आओ और लड़ाई हो तो कोई साथ नहीं. So that waste that the Prime Minister has done for the nation, the LoP has exposed it. By Narendra surrender, he has also exposed the foreign policy. And that is what is necessary as an opposition leader. If the government is making mistakes, which the Ministry of External Affairs has done in your relation to United States, in your relation to Iran, in your relation to Palestine, it was very well exposed by the LoP. Yes, India alliance needs improvements. Comrade D. Raja was right. We need to improve upon it. We need a better interaction.
Now you suddenly realize that you are a member of the CPI. पहले तो कांग्रेस की बैटिंग कर रहे थे, अब आपको याद आ गया that he is from the CPI. अभिजीत अय्यर मित्रा.
You have to take a balance.
I'm completely agreeable with you that you have to take a balance, and so would I. But Abhijit Iyer Mitra, you know, the two biggest problems, they're saying, why are we talking about caste survey and why are we talking about election commission? These are the two biggest issues that have been raised by Rahul Gandhi before, but as well as in the last 1 year since he has been LoP. Why should we not discuss that? Why should we not look at the elections that have been lost in recent times in the last 12 months? How does that become irrelevant to the debate today? And where do you stand on this?
So, Navika, I want to ask you a question. Do you know who Nelly Kim is?
Now, Abhijit, this is my show. I do the asking, you do the answering.
You answered the question. Nelly Kim was the person who got the silver medal to Nadia Comaneci. She was the second person to score a perfect 10 at the Olympics at the exact same time at the vault event. Nobody remembers her, and I can see you also don't remember her. ठीक है ना? So, Rahul Gandhi is like Nelly Kim. It doesn't matter what he does. You see, India invented the zero. Does that mean every binary every computer that uses the binary 0 and 1 coding system keeps saying made in India. No, na? Nobody cares who came up with the idea. People are only concerned about who implemented the idea. Vivek, I did not interrupt you. I think this is very unfair. Could you please fade him out? I will not talk if he's going to talk.
It's not.
No, I will not talk.
Okay, all right. Lowering Vivek, go on, Abhijit.
Okay. So, you can keep saying, I came up with this, U-turn kar diya. Ultimately, the test of the pudding is what? It is the election. And what happens in these elections? See, nobody cares if the Congress came up with idea. MNREGA also the Congress came up with. Look, today it is associated completely with this government. So, what Sanjay says is a U-turn is actually a full-blown hijack. Any idea that the Congress comes up with, the BJP will hijack. And who gets the credit for it? Because ultimately, the point of the leader of the opposition is to want to become Prime Minister. I give him 100 out of 100 in being leader of the opposition. But unfortunately, in trying to become Prime Minister, you get 0 out of 100. This is classic of all Soros investments. Soros, does not invest in a product unless it has a 98% failure rate. That is the kind of risk they are willing to take. Unfortunately, Rahul has not proven himself to be in the 2% that succeeds. He's that 98% that keeps failing. Ab iska kya kiya jaye? You think people don't see the hypocrisy of it all? He keeps talking about the poor, but every week, every month, somewhere or the other, he's on holidays. He has gym membership at the most expensive hotel in Delhi. You keep talking about, Adani, Ambani. Who made Adani? Who made Ambani? Who made the Tatas? Who made the Birlas? Who made the Kirloskars? It was the Congress that made them. But no, you don't want to talk about that. You keep talking about crony capitalism. Let's not forget who released Warren Anderson in return for a convicted drug trafficker called Adil Shahryar from Washington. Reagan had to forgive him to give in return for getting Warren Anderson back. So, people understand all these things. Let us not diminish the intelligence of the people. I wish Rahul Gandhi the best. I give him 100 out of 100 in being leader of the opposition. I continue to pray he remains leader of the opposition. I can tell you for a fact, I know this. In fact, Prime Minister Modi called me up and told me this, that the first prayer he says every day is in fact for Rahul Gandhi. Rahul Gandhi's very, very long life and continued health and success as leader of the opposition.
Brutal, Abhijit Iyer Mitra. There are many good things about Rahul Gandhi. And I refuse to see anybody as total black or white. And that's what people are also asking more questions. Tarun, instead of leader of opposition, Rahul Gandhi has acted as leader of appeasement. DS Joshi, Rahul's only achievement ensuring Congress always remains in opposition. Sanjay Jha, this is an impression not just what Abhijit Iyer Mitra carries, but even viewers who are watching the show. Please respond.
Yeah, Navika, I want to make 2 points. Number one, I will agree with what Suhail said earlier in the program, that the only way you can propagate your ideology or introduce your policies and programs is when you start winning elections. I'm not going to deny that. That's the bottom line. That's the crux of the matter. India Alliance, led by the Congress, needs to win elections to get the country back on track. There are 2 points that are very crucial, and I think I'm sharing it here as a concerned citizen. When the United States courts sent 3 summons to the Indian government over 6 months to deliver that to Gautam Adani and his nephew, and that is not done and blatantly neglected, I think we should all worry about, are we becoming officially a kleptocracy like the Russian government? And if it is so, if we are going to surrender our political future to big business, that is something that should frighten every citizen who's watching your program. My second, we very jokingly on the program talk about the washing machine politics of the BJP, but I honestly feel that's the most serious indictment of the politics of the BJP, where you hijack people, you buy them out, you threaten them with ED income tax threats, and you actually topple governments. Now, they will say it happened in the past. That is no justification for the flagrant manner in which Operation Lotus.
How can that may not be justification, but then you also can't behave holier than thou, no? As if you've never done these things. This is politics, my friend. In this, mein sab nange hai is a phrase that you have used always. And when you talk about the Adanis, how do you forget Warren Anderson? Just reminded to you by Abhijit Iyer Mitra, and what are you showing, Shehzad?
No, there are two Adanis in this country, not Gautam and Pranav. It's good Adani and bad Adani. So good Adani is the Adani that goes and invests in Virinium Port. Good Adani is the Adani that invests in Rajasthan when Ashok Gehlot is in power with Mamata Banerjee, with Bhupesh Baghel. Baki sab bad Adani. Sir, Sanjay ji, I did not interrupt you. I have not interrupted you. So this is not fair. Sanjay,
you had your say, Sanjay Jha. Please respond.
You will never finish your discourse, sir. Now, secondly, I can't not respond to my dear friend Vivek. Vivek ने बोला राहुल गांधी, राहुल चालीसा उन्होंने पढ़ी आधे घंटे. एक स्टेटमेंट है राहुल जी का 19th April 2024. Two chief ministers are in jail but not Pinarayi Vijayan. In Kerala, Rahul alleges that CPM is having nexus with BJP. Sir, you are endorsing, no? Because you have already given a glowing
For that matter, I can break the news on the show that even Asaduddin Owaisi wants to join the Mahagathbandhan. Ravi ji, B team kiske hai? Ye B team kiske hai?
One last statement, just one last statement, because I have to respond to Abhijit also. Iyer Mitra ji has said that India invented zero, but Abhijit, you should full statement you should give. India and Aryabhatta invented zero. Rahul Gandhi mastered the art of using zero. So right from education to election, he has mastered the zero. So thank you, Rahul ji, for taking Aryabhatta's invention ahead. Thank you.
Yes, he has multiplied by zero. And
zero. Multiplied by zero is zero.
Rahul Gandhi ने आपके रिपोर्ट कार्ड को जीरो से मल्टीप्लाई किया और प्राइम मिनिस्टर का रिपोर्ट कार्ड जीरो हो गया.
Multiplied by zero is zero.
Multiplication by zero is zero. You multiply any number by zero, it becomes zero.
ये हो गया दूसरा गधा वाला
प्राइम
इंसिडेंट.
मिनिस्टर्स रिपोर्ट कार्ड.
विवेक जी हो गया. Multiplied by zero.
प्राइम मिनिस्टर्स रिपोर्ट कार्ड. राहुल ने जीरो लिया.
विवेक श्रीवास्तव, राहुल चालीसा पढ़ोगे तो सेल्फ गोल करोगे और वो हो गया है. We did a short survey. Poll question that was asked was, has Rahul Gandhi been successful as leader of opposition? Yes, say 27% of the people. 73% people believe not really. No. Suhail said, surprise?
No, I'm not surprised at any of this. I just want to come back to a point that Abhijit and then Sanjay also made, and you alluded to it. See, when you're checking the leader of opposition's report card, or when you're examining the report card, you also have to examine how much has he been able to inspire his own party. But if you can't inspire your own party to either victory or whatever, how do you galvanize an entire opposition? And the comments that a lot of the opposition leaders have made qua Rahul Gandhi are precisely that. They don't see in him either a galvanizing force, they don't see in him a glue, and most importantly, they don't see inspired leadership, which is why it is to BJP's advantage. When the entire opposition is so fractured and is so fractionalized, you will never have consistency of either thought or ideology. Where is the India Alliance today? Precisely because of that reason.
Absolutely.
That there was no galvanizing element.
Absolutely, and that is why, well, I would be charitable and I would be like any citizen in India. We should be spoilt for choice. We should have an array of leaders to choose from. We should have leaders vying for the top spot, for the popularity ratings, where there is a race that is just so close that everybody is trying to up the other in their performance in winning the trust of the people. Are we in a situation where we see that happening? Narendra Modi, by far, even after 11 years, the most popular leader. Well, Rahul Gandhi may come next, but the fact is the gap between the two is just so huge. In 1 year as leader of opposition, has that gap been closed? Has he got closer to bringing an opposition together to meet that objective? Many people believe that really hasn't happened. Does he raise a voice for the opposition? Yes, he does. And we need detractors in a democracy. But what is the success rate? Well, it matters for everybody. Whether you're in school, you have a report card, or in real life, there's always a performance report card. Well, when you look at Rahul Gandhi, what are the factors that you're going to judge him on? That's the question. Elections, not a great performance. Convincing and winning arguments, maybe some success, but not too much. And demonstrating achievement of promises, well, leaves a lot to be desired. Not being a teacher, but just summing up what people believe. We leave it at that. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me on debate number 1.